Hey boys, so with the announcement of Rugby League Live 4 officially being announced, we've got a couple of juicy details now. Obviously, not too much else. Other than that, well, that's the only thing we've heard so far. And I did touch on this briefly in that video, but I just wanted to make a separate video, this one here, to actually go into a bit more depth in terms of the possibilities surrounding what we know so far, and that is logo creator and stadium creator. So logo creator, like I said, I briefly talked about this last in the announcement video, but you know, maybe a lot of people didn't see that one. This is going to be more specific to that and talking about some different things. So the reason why this is so awesome is just because you just have to look at Don Bradman Cricket 17. You look at that game has no licensing whatsoever. But the game, if you got the game and you've got the community and you download the teams, you'll notice that the teams have the proper kits, they have the bats, you can make the proper pads and gloves and all that stuff. People were able to just, it was a lot easier on PC. Pretty much what happened was people on PC made the stuff, they imported the logos and stuff like that and were able to do it on PC. And the great thing is that it was all connected. So if someone made it on PC, people on Xbox One and PS4 would be able to use that on PC. It was all connected. There wasn't separate fan hubs or separate communities for the PC, Xbox One, PS4. Now I'm assuming it would just make sense that the same thing will happen with this game. Like there would be no reason to separate them. They've already been able to do it with Don Bradman, so I'm assuming that the same thing's going to apply. So guys on PC, they can easily just import the I think they're like SVG files for the logos, put them on the, in Don Bradman sense, on the bats, on the pads, on the kits, all that, and then you're able to download them. For Rugby League, it's a little different in terms of there is licensing. So every game that comes out, we've got the proper kits and logos and stuff. But every year, teams change their uniforms up a bit, their home and away, all that stuff. It changes. They get different sponsors. So the great thing is the longevity is going to be there, because I know every time people always they always want True Blue to release a patch or some DLC for updated kits and rosters, because in Rugby League Live 3, it was easy enough to get the rosters. All you had to do was go on the community, download the 2017 teams or whatever year it was, but you couldn't actually change the kits. I know on PC they could. I'm pretty sure on PC they could actually make, with like mods and stuff, they could get the updated kits, but this is actually an inbuilt game mechanic, and it's gonna work on Xbox One and PS4. So every year, as long as people make it, and you just have to look at previous games. The community is always really, really good with this sort of stuff. They're very, very clever. I definitely couldn't do it, but there's always some very, very good people that are willing to put the time and effort into doing this. And you could expect for at least like the next 1 to 2 years or seasons, I guess, that you would probably be able to get like the updated kits for the proper teams. I know a few people were like asking about like, oh, it'd be good if you could, get the proper boots with Nike and stuff. That right there, that is going to be able to happen as well. Like all that sort of stuff. The headgears as well. So what have you got? Obviously you got the kits, like the jerseys, the shorts, the boots. Same thing. You'll be able to same thing. People are gonna make the proper boots, all that sort of stuff. You can download those and assign them to players. Headgears, I'm assuming will be the same. There's not too many other pieces of equipment that I can think of. I think that's pretty much it. But the other really cool thing that someone mentioned, and I thought about this last night, is some of like the one-off kits. So the big one here is the Marvel superhero jerseys. Like they're so cool, man. They're some of the coolest jersey designs in the game, and obviously they only wear them like once a year. But yeah, people will be able to do that again if people do it and if people are able to do it. But you can assume that people will want to do it, and they will be able to do it. Also, Indigenous. Obviously, this week we got the Indigenous round, so those jerseys look sick as well. So that's another one that people will be able to make. If it's not already in the game now, I can't imagine that the Marvel jerseys will be in the game from like Big Ant as like a license, because it's probably like to get the license to put in the game is probably way too much money. I'm assuming, like, I don't know how that works, but it's probably way too much. The Indigenous jerseys potentially probably I don't know. I don't know if they'd be put in the game standalone. But like I said, the logo creator, people will be able to make them. And then we move on to the stadium creator. Now, in the last video, I sort of said like, oh, you know, I wasn't like that hyped about the stadium creator. I thought it was cool, but I wasn't like, oh man, this is amazing. Now, I still sort of stand by that just because of the fact that the game is licensed. We already got, you know, the stadiums, the main stadiums they're gonna be there and they're gonna look really good, because I thought Rugby League Live 3 did a really good job of the grounds in that game. Like all the NRL teams' grounds looked outstanding, but definitely the big thing here is your more suburban grounds. You know, Queensland Cup, New South Wales Cup, obviously your feeder teams over in England as well. That's a great example of how this could really impact how that plays as well, because people are going to be able to make you know, all those sorts of stadiums. Again, it takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of time, so don't expect like every stadium to be done unless, you know, you want to get in and do it as well. But that's another great aspect. It's going to be more like depth and more variety in terms of playing for those local clubs and local teams. And then, you know, you can, and even if you're not like super interested in making like the bigger grounds, you know, you can always just have a bit of fun in the stadium creator and make like your home ground, like your own suburban ground that you played on, or other grounds that you've seen, you know, real local town grounds, like, you know, that sort of thing could be really good as well. I do hope, one thing I do hope is that the stadium creator is a lot more in depth than Don Bradman Cricket, because Don Bradman Cricket 17 stadium creator, it wasn't terrible. Like, it was pretty good. Like, people made some pretty decent representations of proper grounds, but it definitely didn't have the detail and the depth to really like look like the proper ground. So yeah, hopefully just it just has more depth. And I mean, it obviously will. Like, I'm talking like, oh, I'm hoping they're not just going to copy paste it. They're obviously not going to. It's obviously going to be improved from Don Bradman Cricket, so that's definitely a good thing. Like I said, it wasn't bad in Don Bradman Cricket, but it definitely could have used with some more options. And for Rugby League, it'll be a little different in terms of how it's made, because obviously a cricket ground is fairly different to a Rugby League ground. But yeah, that's some of the cool things that we can look forward to. Mostly aesthetic, well, pretty much all aesthetic. There's no real gameplay teasers yet in terms of details and stuff. Hopefully next few days, maybe a week. I don't know how long this stuff or how much is going to trickle out over time. But hopefully it starts, you know, coming out, some gameplay info. That's the main thing I want to know. I want to know if there's set plays. That's the big one. I want to know if there's set plays. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.